brought in Theo Fleury, a former NHL All-Star, Stanley Cup winner, and Olympic gold medalist. Recently, Theo fascinated readers with his #1 bestseller, Playing with Fire. Now he is one of the country's most in-demand keynote speakers. He shares funny stories behind the scenes with the game's biggest stars. Theo tells jaw-dropping anecdote of living hard at the top of the NHL, the crash that followed, and finally his comeback and redemption. Theo knows what it takes to become a champion, build a strong team, and overcome incredible odds. So please help me give Theo Fleury a warm Conestoga welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me come out here. It's been a crazy day. Started at 4 o'clock this morning. I was in Regina, so got whisked in, and I'll just my story has a lot of mental health issues in it, and like 1 in 3 girls, 1 in 5 boys, by the time they're 18 years old, have been sexually molested. So a quarter of the people that are sitting in the room today have been directly affected by some sort of trauma in their life, and I was no different. And I grew up in a small town. There's 8,000 students here at this college, so that's like 3 of my hometowns in one college. So yeah, I grew up in a house that my parents, struggled with their own addictions. My dad was an alcoholic, my mom was a prescription pill addict, and needless to say, all I saw was pretty much chaos my whole entire life, or the beginning part of my life, and saw some things that a young boy should never have to see or never have to go through. But the one thing that I discovered was I was walking home from kindergarten one day with a classmate of mine, and he said, we're having our first hockey practice today. Would you be interested in playing? And I said, yeah, sure, why not? So I quickly ran home, and I asked my mom if I had any hockey equipment, and her and I put a makeshift kit together. So I had a pair of hockey skates that were probably 2 or 3 sizes too big for me, broken hockey stick, some hockey gloves that were way too big for me, a couple of Sears catalogs for shin pads. You remember those old brown sealer rings that your grandmother used to can with? Yeah, that's basically what held up my socks, and we put it all in a pillowcase. And it's funny because when I wrote the book, they found that picture of that day. It's like the very first picture in the book is that exact moment frozen in time. And like anything else, when we try something new for the first time, right, we usually struggle. Like nobody picks up a guitar and it's like Jimi Hendrix, right? Or nobody picks up a violin and plays Beethoven, right? It takes a long time. But my experience that day was I stepped on the ice and it was just natural. I didn't fall down, I didn't struggle. And from that moment on, I fell in love with the game of hockey. And anybody that would listen to me as a 5-year-old kid, I told you that I was going to play in the National Hockey League someday. And my dad was a great athlete, and in 1963 he was drafted by the New York Rangers, and he was also a great baseball player as well. plate at first base, and there was a guy on third. So my dad ran up the line, caught the ball. The guy on third tagged. My dad ran to home plate. There was a collision at home plate. My dad broke his leg very, very badly. And needless to say, his dream of playing in the NHL was shattered basically that day. And so we basically spent the first 6 years of my life with my dad playing senior hockey all over Western Canada. And so there's a particular town, which is Russell, Manitoba, which ended up being my hometown. They offered my dad a job with the town of Russell, but they really wanted him to play senior hockey, right? And so we moved to Russell, Manitoba, and it was, it's so ironic. There's so many crazy things that have happened in my life. Like I was in New York when 9/11 happened. I was there the day. I was in Colorado the day that Columbine happened. And so, and I'll get to this a little further in my story, but it just so happened that the 13 best athletes in the little town of Russell, Manitoba were all 6 years old. They were all the same age as me. And not only that, we had 3 amazing fathers that became our coaches. And these 3 fathers basically taught me core values that I carry very near and dear to my heart today, and I try to instill these same values in my own children, and that's, respect and caring for one another, loving one another, and also consequences. If we stepped out of line, there was consequences. And not only that, we had a bunch of really amazing parents as well, and we all bought into this I guess, system and plan that was set up. And what happened was we became this incredible team. Like our practices were planned out. We really worked on the skills of the game, and it wasn't too long that we became this winning team, this incredibly, amazing little hockey team. And people would come from all over Manitoba and Saskatchewan to watch us play because of how we handled ourselves, not only the way we played on the ice, but the way we played off the ice, how we were always together, we always hung out together, we certainly cared about one another, and it was one of those things that, people ask me all the time, they want to see the gold medal, and they want to see all the rings that I have, and I you know what, I don't even know where they are. They're somewhere in my house, but I don't know where they are. And people kind of look at me weird, because that's the last thing that happens. The last thing that happens is they